Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we are here with another lecture of public international law, or enforced in 1969. Then the second thing is international treaties. The treaties that are basically signed between the different countries or between two countries. So these international treaties are also a source of international law. The treaties might be of two types. First one is law-making treaties, second one is treaty contracts, and in previous lecture we have studied in detail about the treaties. Then international customs. It is not necessary that the usage should always precede a custom. कि ये ज़रूरी नहीं होता कि हमेशा जो है वो किसी भी पर्टिकुलर लॉ का बहुत ज़्यादा इस्तेमाल ही किसी चीज़ को जो है वो एक सॉर्ट ऑफ कस्टम बना दे, बल्कि कुछ और कस्टम्स भी होते हैं जो कि इंटरनेशनली इम्प्लीमेंटेड होते हैं, इंटरनेशनली जो है वो फॉलो हो रहे होते हैं वो कस्टम्स, एंड देन दीज कस्टम्स आर कंसीडर्ड एज द इंटरनेशनल लॉ. So in certain cases usage give rise to international customary law कि जैसे ही जो है वो एक लॉ का, एक इंटरनेशनल लॉ का बहुत ज़्यादा इस्तेमाल होगा तो अल्टीमेटली वो पर्टिकुलर लॉ एक कस्टमरी लॉ बन जाएगा. Like now it is a custom to follow that particular law, although it wasn't a custom in past, but when we have used a law with full practice and we use that law a lot, then ultimately that international law becomes international customary law. When a usage is combined with the rule of customary law exists, it is important matter to see is how to international customs will be applied in international law. कि ये हमारे लिए ये देखना भी इम्पॉर्टेंट है कि किस तरह से हम जनरल कस्टम्स को या फिर इंटरनेशनल कस्टम्स को एज अ लॉ जो है वो यूटिलाइज कर सकते हैं और उन्हें स्टेट में इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं. किस तरह से आप इस लॉ को जो है वो फोर्स कर सकते हैं, लाइक द फोर्स ऑफ लॉ. इट इज़ नॉट नेसेसरी दैट द यूसेज शुड ऑलवेज प्रोसीड अ कस्टम. In certain cases, usage give rise to international customary law. When a usage is combined with the rule of customary law exists, it is important matter to see is how to national customs will be applied in customary law. वही बातें जो बेसिकली हमने लास्ट में पढ़ी, लेकिन यहाँ पे आई जस्ट वांटेड टू एक्सप्लेन दीज थिंग्स अ लिटिल मोर कि कुछ चीज़ें ऐसी होती हैं दैट आर फॉलोड नेशनली, but when other states see you following a law or a custom, they consider it good to follow that particular law or the custom. So ultimately when a custom is followed randomly, or everyone basically it is easy to follow, or everyone don't give any kind of argument about following that particular law, so ultimately law is basically enforced. Then there are general principles of law recognized by the civilized state के कुछ इंटरनेशनल लॉ का एक और सोर्स जो है दैट इज़ बेसिकली जनरल प्रिंसिपल्स. कुछ जनरल प्रिंसिपल्स हैं जो बेसिकली सिविलाइज्ड स्टेट ने जो है वो हाईलाइट किए हुए हैं, और उन प्रिंसिपल्स को फॉलो करना जो है दैट इज़ ऑल्सो अ सोर्स फॉर इंटरनेशनल लॉ. Like law based on justice, equality, consciousness, which have accepted by practice of the state. कि जैसा कि इंसाफ से रिलेटेड, जस्टिस से रिलेटेड लॉज, इक्वालिटी से रिलेटेड लॉज, ये तमाम लॉज जो हैं वो बेसिकली इंटरनेशनली रिकग्नाइज्ड लॉज होते हैं. और every state basically every state is practicing these law, so not at national level but as well as on international level these laws are also to be followed. वो किस तरह से कि फॉर एग्जांपल शायद आपको याद हो कि देयर वाज अ टाइम जब पाकिस्तान में जो है वो एक अमेरिकन शख्स ने जो है वो आके असला चला दिया था रोड पे, बट अल्टीमेटली अमेरिकन्स ने जो है वो उस शख्स को वापस बुलवा लिया अपनी स्टेट में, एंड दे सेड दैट वी विल प्रोसीड इट अकॉर्डिंग टू द लॉ, but we will proceed it accordingly to the law of our own state. So, what was this? This was basically the justice. Like they wanted to do justice, but ultimately, they haven't left their man in another country, and they just wanted to do the trial in their own state. So, it generally there must be an equality, but we have seen that in word there is no equality. Pakistan is claiming like Arfa uh, Siddiqui from a very long time. Uh, so Dr. Arfa Siddiqui. So what we have seen that the equality or the justice law is not followed. Pakistan is asking again and again about the custody of Dr. Arfa, but like USA's court or USA law is not giving back the lady to the state. So the basically the practice is to be done in their own in her own state. So yes, there is this discrimination, but ultimately the international law that are to be followed as general principles must follow the principle of justice and equality. Then decisions of judicial or arbitral tribunal and juristic work, that is international judicial decisions and state judicial decisions. Like most of the times, the international judicial decisions that are to be done in the past, that can be taken as a reference in future or in the present to take more decisions. कि अगर पास्ट में कोई एक डिसीजन हुआ या जुडिशरी ने कोई एक डिसीजन लिया इन इंटरनेशनल कोर्ट ऑफ जस्टिस, और अगर प्रेजेंट में या फिर फ्यूचर में उससे रिलेटेड कोई भी केस इंटरनेशनल कोर्ट ऑफ जस्टिस में आता है, तो व्हाट द कोर्ट कैन डू, कोर्ट उस प्रीवियस डिसीजन का जो है वो रेफरेंस देके करंट जो मैटर है उसको रिजॉल्व करा सकती है. उसके अलावा अगर स्टेट ने किसी भी किस्म के जुडिशियल डिसीजंस दिए हैं एंड द स्टेट लाइक कोर्ट सिस्टम और द जुडिशरी सिस्टम इज लाइक बहुत अच्छा है, या फिर अगर वो मैटर जो है उस पर्टिकुलर स्टेट से रिलेटेड है, तो तब भी जो है वो दैट इज ऑल्सो कंसिडर्ड इंटरनेशनल लॉ. उसके लिए एग्जाम्पल जो है दैट कैन बी ऑफ कुलभूषण यादव, एज वी हैव सीन दैट द मैटर ऑफ कुलभूषण यादव वाज टेकन इन द इंटरनेशनल कोर्ट ऑफ जस्टिस, एंड नाउ International Court of Justice has decided that his trial will be held in the courts of Pakistan. But ultimately, if Pakistan wanted to give that man back to the India, so the trial of that man can be done in the courts of like in Indian courts. So, what Pakistan has decided that no, the trial will be in the Pakistani courts, and in the the lawyer will be from Pakistan, and Pakistan will provide all the details of the case to the party, or to basically the Indians, or we can say to the Indian government, and ultimately they can officially run the case, or they can officially fight the case in the Pakistani courts. So what is this? This is basically the state judicial decision. Then decisions or determination of the organs of international institutions, के most of the times international institutions के जो decisions होते हैं, organs के जो decisions होते हैं, that can be also a source of international law. We all know, like there is United Nations, that is an international institution. Then there is International Court of Justice. Then there is UNDP. Then there is WHO. Then there are many other institutions, international institutions. Like then there is IMF. There is World Bank. Their decisions are can be also used as source of international law. As we all know that if Pakistan seeks some sort of debt from any international financial institution, then ultimately Pakistan has to follow those rules and laws that are to be implemented or enforced by that particular institution. Like if Pakistan is asking debt from the IMF, then Pakistan has to follow the rules and regulations of by IMF not for taking that debt particularly, but ultimately Pakistan has to enforce those conditions in their own state to basically get that debt. Then some other sources of international law. First one is international committee, means mutual relations of nations. Like if a state has a mutual relation and they take a decision, that can be also taken as the international source of law. Then state papers in modern period diplomats and letters to each others for good relations are also the sources of international law. Like these official letters can be also taken as the source of international law. And further, the state can decide on the like about maintaining relation with some state with the previous reference of the behavior, or we can say the tone that was delivered in the previous letters or in the previous papers. In state guidance for their offices, a number of matters are resolved on the advice of their legal advisors. कि state की जो guidances होती हैं अपने officers के लिए, that can be also taken as a source. Reasons has a special position in all the ages, like equity and justice. It may play a dramatic role in supplementing the law or appear unobtrusively as a part of judicial reasoning. कि किसी भी चीज़ के लिए रीजनिंग देना, रीजनिंग अबाउट द इक्विटी एंड द जस्टिस, then this can be also taken as a source for international law. So these were the sources of international law. uh, this is it for today. Thank you so much. Hope to see you in the next lecture.